Hey, love, I've been holding back for what feels like forever, and it's time for me to finally open up in the most honest way possible. It's not easy for me to reveal these thoughts, especially when they have been tangled up in my head for so long, but I can't keep them inside anymore. You deserve to know exactly what's going on in my heart, no matter how hard it is to say out loud. With each passing day, the weight of my silence has become heavier, and I've realized that the only way forward, the only way we can truly understand each other, is if I lay everything out on the table. So please, bear with me, because I'm about to share something that I've been wrestling with, something that speaks to the depth of my feelings for you and the confusion I've been battling. I want to start by acknowledging what we have always shared. From the very beginning, you've been someone who felt different to me, someone whose presence offered warmth, support, and an authenticity I rarely experience in this world. You saw parts of me that I had hidden from others, and you never once flinched. That meant more than I ever admitted to you, because it gave me this profound sense of security, like I had finally found a person I could trust with every piece of who I am. Over time, you've stood by my side in ways I never thought another human being would, and for that, I will always be grateful. Despite that, there came a point where my emotions got tangled. I felt something stir within me for a third party, an attraction that, in the moment, seemed to promise excitement and the thrill of the unknown. It was as though I was chasing a spark that felt risky, new, and somehow liberating. I told myself it wasn't a betrayal of what we had, a maybe, it was just a harmless exploration of what life had to offer. But as the weeks rolled on, I started to feel the tension, this uncomfortable duality that gnawed at my conscience. I wasn't being honest with you, and I wasn't being honest with myself. I tried to push those guilty feelings aside, convincing myself that it was nothing serious, just a fleeting curiosity that would fade away. But the more I tried to ignore it, the more I realized I was distancing myself from the most important person in my life, you. I found that I was holding on to secrets, letting them fester inside me. And each day, a small part of the closeness we shared seemed to slip through my fingers. Instead of confronting what I was feeling, I bottled it up until it became impossible to ignore. Now, I can't pretend that this was all an innocent misunderstanding. I pursued a connection, however small or fleeting, that distracted me from the truth. What we share has always been deeper, more meaningful, and infinitely more important than any passing thrill. In hindsight, it's almost embarrassing to realize how easily I got swept away by surface level excitement. Sometimes, when something feels too real or too intimate, fear creeps in. Fear of being so deeply vulnerable, so intertwined with another person, that you wonder if you're losing parts of yourself. That fear may have pushed me to seek a distraction, to find a space where there were no expectations, no emotional risks. But this doesn't excuse the fact that I allowed something superficial to overshadow what truly matters. As the days turned into weeks, I noticed the thrill I felt with this third party starting to ebb. It was like watching a bright spark in the night sky slowly dim until it was barely visible. What once seemed alluring and new became, in the light of day, shallow and inconsequential. The so-called connection we had never really stood on solid ground. It was built on novelty, on fantasy, rather than on genuine understanding or respect. The more time I spent analyzing it, the more I understood that it simply couldn't stand up to the love and depth that we share. I cannot overstate how liberating it feels to finally admit that any draw I felt toward them has completely faded away. It's almost as if a fog has been lifted. Where once I was chasing an illusion, now I see the truth. What we have is real. It's built on countless hours of laughter, tears, whispered confessions, and moments of pure, unfiltered connection. No fleeting spark can compare to the warmth of a relationship that has weathered storms, celebrated victories, and seen each other at our most unguarded. In my heart, there was never room for anyone else the way there has always been room for you. Even when I felt distracted, you were the constant thought in the back of my mind, the baseline of my emotional landscape. The simple truth is, no matter how I tried to block out my own guilt or confusion, you were always there, occupying the space in my heart that truly matters. That's the biggest revelation for me. I was never really gone from you. I was just temporarily lost in my own doubts and insecurities. It's not easy to own up to this. I know you may feel hurt, betrayed, or even question the genuineness of my words. If the roles were reversed, I would undoubtedly feel the same. It's important for me to honor that hurt, to accept responsibility for my actions, and to show you, through consistent behavior, how much you mean to me. Words can only go so far if they aren't backed by real change and genuine effort. I'm willing to do that work. I'm willing to dedicate my time and my heart to proving that I've learned from my mistake and that I'm here to stay. You deserve someone who is steadfast in their affection, who doesn't let fear or curiosity take precedence over a love that has grown from a place of mutual respect and understanding. You deserve to know that when I say I cherish you, it isn't just a fleeting sentiment. I'm not looking for a quick fix or temporary absolution. I want to rebuild any trust that may have been cracked by my confusion. That means being open about my emotions, no matter how vulnerable it makes me feel. And it means trusting you enough to accept my honesty for what it is, a promise of growth and devotion. The truth is, I want a future with you, a future where we continue to build upon the foundation we've already laid, a future that acknowledges we're both imperfect people who sometimes stumble but ultimately strive for a love that's real, enduring, and full of genuine warmth. I see that future every time I imagine us laughing in a kitchen on a lazy Sunday morning or supporting each other through life's toughest moments. That's the connection I want, and I know now, more than ever, that no outside force can compare to the unwavering bond we share. I'm not asking you to pretend nothing happened. I'm sure this will take time. Time for you to process. Time for you to see if my words truly align with my actions. And time for us to mend what has been strained. I'm ready to have tough conversations, to listen to your concerns, and to reassure you in every way I can. If there's one thing I've taken away from this entire experience, it's that true love is worth fighting for, even when it means facing the parts of ourselves we're not proud of. As I pour out these words, I hope you can sense the sincerity behind them. I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be. But what I do know is that you're the person I want to share my life with, through the quiet days, the chaotic ones, and everything in between. That's what I'm committed to now, and am not going to let fear or temptation lead me astray again. Thank you for being the kind of person who deserves this level of honesty. Thank you for offering me the chance to show you the depth of my devotion, even after I faltered. Most of all, thank you for being you, a soul so unique and irreplaceable that no temporary distraction could ever truly take me away. I love you with a certainty that grows stronger with every breath, and I promise that from here on out, my actions will reflect that unwavering truth. Always, your name.